a rare day video. Basically because it's not 1,000,000,000 degrees out and it's also not pouring rain. I started making this video and it stopped on me and I don't know why. I don't know if I pushed a button or if I'm going to run out of space or what's going on. Anyway. Come on, cat. Let's get away from the roads and the street and people. You can see how he hops along. Oh, Poppy's over there. Pop! He's across the street. Come on, Poppy. He's confused. They're confused. Walking up here, there won't be any cars. Poppy! Anyway, I live in the United States. And yesterday, it's weird to me it was only yesterday, was the 4th of July on a Sunday, which is a big drinking day in the U.S. If you've seen my videos previously, I bet you know where this is going. Hey, bear. I don't know if Poppy's going to come. He probably will. Anyway. And so, normally, you get the 4th of July off as a paid holiday. But because it was Sunday, most people actually got today off. I'm not most people. If you wonder what I've been doing, I've been working a ton. And I do work weird hours when other people wouldn't want to work. That's kind of a classic avoidant trick, by the way. I'm definitely not the one that invented that, and I'm not the only one I know who purposefully works strange hours to cut down on contacts. Anyway, yesterday I worked, I think, 4 in the afternoon until almost 3 in the morning. Yeah. But around about 5, my sister, who is on the other coast and is 3 hours later, started texting me. And of course, she was still drunk from her 4th of July excuse, because of course she is a very active alcoholic. I guess Pop's not coming, but Perry is. He's looking for him. He knows he's around. Anyway, you know what? I found a song online. Lyrics have nothing to do with anything, but the sound of the song pretty much is a really good example of how I feel when I talk to my sister, straight down to this sort of break of a silent movie soundtracky thing right in the middle, which I'm like, yep, that's when my sister starts to gaslight. I'll put that in there so that you can basically get a gist of what it's like for me to talk to my sister. So, the worst is, I swear, I think my sister thinks she's funny. And she's so not. It's like damaged brain that she thinks what she's saying is charming and funny and everybody should love it. And it's just like, what is wrong with you? The thing is, I know she's an addict. And I have to basically treat her like everybody else in my family that's fucked up and sick. And sort of like, okay, coddle her along, and then I snap. And this is what I'm dealing with today. So it finally sunk into her that my father is sick. Update on him, he has severe Alzheimer's. He's been in hospital where they medicated him within an inch of his life. He was basically asleep 23 hours a day, and then he's just moved into a new memory care center. They stopped the medication, And things are going better for him. He's doing things like, black-eyed Susans. They were my mother's favorite flowers, if you guys needed to know that. He's starting to talk again, which everybody was really surprised. They thought he'd never speak. He listens to people. He doesn't really have a conversation. He only has a few words that he knows. But he very much actively listens, and he very much wants to look in magazines and stuff like that. He's tried to walk. Now, of course, he's been on his back in bed for 2 months, so he's got very atrophied muscles. It's very hard for him. He keeps standing up and falling because he's just not strong enough to hold himself up anymore. But just like the last time he was in the hospital and then went to a memory care center, and it seemed like a huge improvement. Basically, that's what happened again, because they're not drugging him to death. It's Perry. He can keep up with me really good, even though he's only got 3 legs. Anyway, until he can't. Then he gets tired and I pick him up and take him home. My sister, it suddenly dawned on her that my father is ill. Now, 2 years ago, I was basically begging her to come and see him. I'm like, this is it, man. He's on the edge of really losing all of his memory. You need to come now if you want to have any kind of conversation where you remember anything about him, where you can relate to anything. And she was just absolutely offended because he didn't remember her name. He called her by the wrong name. So she didn't come. Ooh, mosquitoes. Temperate weather and lots of rain. Yeah, there's going to be mosquitoes. I think I'm going to cut this short. Anyway. So, hey, Pear. No, Poppy did not come. We'll find him on the way back. Anyway, in a nutshell, her being the drama queen and Miss Chaos, you can hear, the river's over that way. It's really loud. A lot of water going over it. It's all about her. It's all about her. She's like, oh my God, I'm going to get his genes. I've got his genes. This is going to happen to me. And she was like, oh my God, you need to learn Icelandic. This is what they say, you keep using your brain type thing. And I was like, well, the first time he went into a memory care center, he learned to do a Sudoku puzzle. Not correctly, but he learned the concept. So, that's not really an accurate thing, And she's like, oh my God, we're doomed. She's like, I'm going to get it. I have the same hair color as him. I'm like, well, his mother, who also was in a locked ward for 15 years, did not have the same hair color. Ignore that. Then she's like, well, should I just get on a plane and come out and see him? And I was like, well, okay, his body is not going to die for years and years. And you've already missed your chance with his mind. You can come, but he is not going to know who you are. He doesn't know who I am. He thinks I'm a nice person. I've actually been downgraded even from a friend. I'm just somebody that's nice. Doesn't know who I am. And that's okay. That happens. He's got Alzheimer's. She, for some reason, and of course she knows everything, and everything she knows is correct. And of course her kids are twice as smart as her and I put together. I'm like, whatever. It's funny she says that. Anyway, I'm not going to go there. I shouldn't be mean about my... Oh, she calls them nibblings. Oh. Which is niece and nephew. Siblings. Nibblings. Isn't that cute? Whatever. I think she was disgusted that I didn't ask her what the hell that was. She thought she was being so cute. Anyway, but yeah, that's what it's about. It's all about her. And then she's like, what about our Uncle John? My Uncle John is younger than my father. She's like, he looks so bad because he's fat. He should be worse off. And I went, well, actually, he just started chemo and radiation for lung cancer. And she's like, oh my God, I feel so bad for saying that. And you know, I do have a past with a way of words. And if you annoy me enough and push me far enough, then it will come out. And what I said to her was, well, if you wish for somebody's death, maybe sometime it will come true. Or something like that. Thistles. How odd. I gotta keep moving. I'm gonna get bit by mosquitoes. Anyway, I mean, it was really bad. Really, really bad. And I'm typing it, and I typed it, and I sent it, and I went, I mean, that was, of course, like, the classic perfect, hey, Perry, let's go back. First of all, I don't know if there's more mosquitoes. There's, like, water in amongst both sides of these woods. Plus you can hear the river. Anyway, you know, they're like, can you just say the most perfect nasty comeback at the most perfect time? Well, that was pretty good. And now I have been beating myself up for it all day. You know, and she's, like, she got mad that one of my aunts went to go visit my father. So this is his sister. And she's like, well, I didn't know about it. You know, I'm like she has to know what everybody is doing in the world. What did his own sister needs to ask my sister's permission to go visit her brother? What? I can't wrap my head around how my sister thinks. I just can't. And it does drive me crazy. And I feel so bad because then she says things like, what did she say? Something like that her kids are intrigued by their mystery aunt or something like that. I mean, okay, first of all, BS. You know, her oldest is 17 and her youngest is, I think, 11. Look, it's a slug. You gonna eat it, Perry? I don't know. He answered. So that's one. Yeah, give me a break. That these teenagers in this world are, on pins and needles wondering about their aunt. Yeah, right. Two, they could always check out my Instagram and know what I'm doing. I don't think they should check out this channel, though, something tells me. And secondly, why do I have no contact with my niece and nephews? Oh, it's because my sister refuses me to have access to them? Maybe that's it? But she puts it on me. And now she's, quote unquote, invited me out there. And I'm like, yeah, right. You know how, this is literally how I got off the phone. I was like, okay, well, how about, like, I'm not going to her house. There's no way in hell. No way in hell. I'm not even going to her town. I'm going nowhere near. I am going to California later this year. Hopefully. If the world does not cave in. Because I'm still doing my travel all over the place that's had their tourist economy decimated and try to pump some money in. Yeah, California's one of those places that they used to have lots of tourists and then they spent a year and a half without me. There he is. Wants a break? Cat, I will be absolutely destroyed by these mosquitoes if I stop. I'm sorry, I'm not stopping. Not stopping. Come on, Perry. Actually, the bats might be coming out soon. If I see one, I'll make sure to let you know. How I got off the phone. I told her I'd take her kids to Disneyland. Which, you know what? If she remembers it, because I'm pretty sure that she was so drunk that she is never going to remember that she called me and had that conversation. Not one word of it. Yeah, sure, I'll take her kids. What the heck? What would that be, like $600 or something? Here he comes. But this is what's annoying. As a person with avoidant personality disorder, who tends to ruminate, first of all, I'm so annoyed by my sister's behavior and her thought process and how she thinks. It does sound like something's coming. I don't know. How she thinks it's okay to be so self-centered. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure that she doesn't even realize that that is the entire focus of her life. And she started talking to me about other family members. Like I said, she started with, well, how come it's our dad and it's not our uncle? Absolute hatefulness. Then she went through talking about, well, this aunt and this aunt, and I was basically giving her little updates on how they were doing, and I was like, okay, well, you can gossip with them here. This aunt, she especially loves to talk, and she's like, I don't want to gossip. I don't like to gossip. I'm like, liar. Right, Perry? Liar. That annoys me. That bothers me so much that anybody can get away with that. I'm gonna say this, pretty judgmental about addicts. You know, that they, you know, you've heard what I've said about people with borderline personality disorder, that, you know, they are toxic until they've gone through treatment. Well, addicts, I think, are just untrustworthy and selfish and self-centered for life. You know, it just changes permanent structures in their brain, and I've never seen somebody who was an actual addict. I mean, there's people who use to, you know, get through things, and then there's people who are like genetically addicted and just go for it and don't do anything to stop it, don't recognize it, and don't, you know, just, hey, I'm going to be selfish and I'm going to be this way and I'm going to disrupt people's lives. Those are the types of addicts I've seen. I mean, I don't interact with very many people anyway, right? Oh no, he's crashed. I gotta go get him. I mean, he didn't really crash. He's just tired. I don't know. I mean, that one's controversial. But there are people that are just like, I'm going to be the most selfish person on the planet. And generally they're active addicts. And I'm just like, whatever. Untrustworthy. Totally self-centered. And they drive me completely crazy. It's not a bat. It's a seagull. Perry, you want to go? So, I don't know. I have a degree of compassion. But when I'm like the target of the bullshit, I'm like, no, I can't deal at all. I can't deal at all. So, but that is annoying. That's annoying that as an avoidant person, I will ruminate about this stupid interaction for, I would say, decades. I'm probably going to ruminate about this video that I'm making and things I'm saying on it for years and years and years. And it'll be one of the ones that I'm like, geez, Maybe I should take down my channel. Ooh, 1,000,000 apple trees. I don't think you can see them, but they're little teeny tiny apples in all those trees. And other people don't do that. At all. You know, if they do something like that, they can just say, oh, I had a bad moment and I let it go. And avoidant people cannot do that. I seriously have about 15, 20 bites. So, I don't know what to do about that. I've never had therapy to make it better, to forgive myself, to change my thought patterns. Bless you, Perry. He doesn't have COVID. So I have no advice for help other than, yeah, there's somebody else like that out there, and I can relate, and I can, empathize. If you're going through the same thing, that you just can't let anything go, and you have to beat yourself up. That was, I think, a robin. Still no bats. I think it's still too late for bats. Anyway, I'm going to grab this cat and get out of here. And hopefully I'll only end up with 20 mosquito bites instead of 50. And try to give myself a break about how I dealt with my sister. And tales I told to get off the phone because it was texting, but it was, I don't know, she just wouldn't stop. I kept saying I had to leave. I was like, I have to take care of my elderly cat. I was like, this, that, and the other. That's the only thing that worked. Oh, I'll take your kids to Disneyland. She's like, okay, cool, bye. She probably passed out. Oh, and then she sent me a final message. It's like, I'm sorry, it's so weird between us, or something like that. I'm like, you're the one that makes it weird. You're the one that never answers the phone. You're the one that only calls when you're drunk. You're the one who's straight up abusive and thinks that you're being funny, and your nastiness and your snarky little things that you say, and ha ha ha, I'm supposed to laugh at that bullshit? Sorry, I don't laugh when somebody is being mean to me. I don't think that's a joke, and I don't like it. And she thinks that she's just a great wit. I don't know. I said 6 times I'm going to stop this. I'm like sitting here scratching. So I'm going to stop it. And hopefully I'll have 5 seconds to make another video soon. Bye.